Hello everyone, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here. We're going to dive straight into your reading today. I do just like to begin by thanking those of you who have been watching my videos, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. I am so deeply grateful for all of your support on this channel. It really touches me and means a lot to me. We are so close to 7,300 subscribers. I am really hoping that we get there and pass it this weekend. Anyway, guys, if it's meant to be, we will, right? But thank you so much to all of you. A lot of you have been with me for a long, long time, for years. And I'm very thankful. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome. I am also very happy to have you here. So, I hope that you'll find something that brings you some peace and clarity, something that resonates in this reading. And if you do, I hope that you will like or subscribe or comment just to let us know, all right? So thank you so much for being here. All right, guys, we're going to dive right in. Just keep in mind, these are general readings, so take what resonates and leave the rest. For Pisces, please, Spirit. For Pisces, please, Spirit. Okay, while I was shuffling, I saw a very strong yes card flip over. Okay, so some of you are experiencing a minor setback in a relationship. Okay, I have the sense that things will be okay. I mean, they will be okay one way or another. They're going to be okay. There's an energy here, though. You've got this temperance energy right in the center. Temperance is a card of patience. It's also a card of, melding two energies together a little bit at a time. And, we're always dealing with fear, right? Fear is part of the human condition. And, I feel with this afraid of commitment, the actual reason that I chose the cards that I chose is because I could feel in my throat chakra this morning that there is like a throat chakra blockage. It's like we want to say something, we're so close to saying something, but we're not saying it. And maybe we're even attempting to say it, or we're trying to say it, or I actually got the energy of texting and saying, I'm not that good at expressing myself, or I'm not so great at expressing certain things, or do you know what I'm saying? Like almost like just admitting or acknowledging that there's a difficulty there would help release it, or help the energy around it, help the other person to understand that it's not like a problem so much in the relationship as it's just like knowing that something needs to be said and really finding it hard to say it. But everything else is there. I feel the feelings are there. I feel the other things are there. I feel like it's coming together. And I feel like it just requires patience and sort of allowing each relationship to take the course that it takes. A lot of times I see videos on YouTube all the time with titles like, he hasn't committed in 2 months, don't waste your time. Just all these really black and white statements of, they'll do it by this, or they're not gonna do it, or there's only 3 types of people and they fall into these 3 categories. And, how wonderful for you that that's your experience, that people fall into 3 categories and that it always goes like this. But whenever I see always and never in a statement, in a title, in something, I know that the person is lying to me because always and never are such extremes that are almost always never true. When you think of always and never, what things are really and truly always and never? I always say the one thing that is always true is that things are going to change. however it is, they're going to change. They are not going to stay the same. That is the one thing you can hang your hat on in life. And we have to be careful when we take on these extreme energies, because panic sets in, chaos sets in. Something's not going to plan. Oh my gosh, something's wrong. It can't go this way. The world's going to come to an end, and, I'm going to lose this person, or, whatever. The minute you get into that type of energy, you're no longer productive. You're no longer able to be connecting to your highest and best self, to make the wisest choices, to navigate the space, whatever it is. So we have to really be careful, even like the information that we're taking in and how it's making us feel. We have to be mindful. Does this make me feel better, or does this make me feel worse? And if it makes me feel worse, should I be doing this? Is this something that is actually serving my highest and best good? You have two energies here of communication. 222 might be really important to somebody. It may also be a sign or a synchronicity that's coming up around when someone's going to be reaching out to you. But the 222 and the be patient, it's like it's always its own route when two things come together. It's always different. It's not going to be some cookie cutter recipe experience. It's not like mixing flour and water and always getting flour and water paste. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a very complex ingredient, and this is a very complex ingredient. When we try to bring these complex ingredients together, there are ways in which it's going to meld so beautifully and so perfectly. But then there are ways where it's going to kind of repel, or it's going to kind of be tricky. It's going to be a challenge, something that we have to work through. But those challenging spaces ultimately usually become the thing that really hold us together tightly. Because when we feel the energy of someone seeking to understand us, when we feel the energy of someone not naturally being a certain way, but not judging it. And I think my husband just came home. You can hear my dog. But it lends itself to this idea, or this, it's not even an idea, it's this feeling of unconditionality of, even if I say something difficult to you, or even if we disagree, you have this energy or this attitude of, let me seek to understand you. Let me, and when people feel that they're being greeted with that kind of energy, a lot of times, even if at first they still continue to push you away because they've already decided to push you away, or they're in such a place, they've gotten themselves to such a place that they're no longer operating from their highest and best self, they will typically come back around. They will typically come back to that place. Sometimes they just need space. And you see here, somebody's dealing with their fears. Somebody is kind of having to face themselves, and a part of themselves that maybe they haven't really wanted to face. I do feel like this person is going to reach out to you. I do feel like there will be more communication around whatever this is. So let's see what... Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh, I love this beautiful deck. It's called Confession of Soulmate. there's going to be a moment of communication that brings about a lot of clarity, that breaks down some kind of barrier and makes something really transparent, really easy to see, really easy to understand. There is something that has not yet been spoken. There is something that I can feel this energy of somebody that wants to say it. Somebody, I think this is about someone's feelings. And it's just like, I have the feelings, I'm feeling the thing. I want this. I don't want you to doubt whether or not I want it. I do. But it's very, very hard for me to say it out loud. But that saying it out loud, it's like once we get past there, once we get past that point, I feel like it's just like a snowball growing out of control. It's like it goes very smoothly from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. It's like this one barrier of intimacy has to be broken in order for this like almost like avalanche type situation, but in a really good way. It's something that then has this capacity for unlimited growth. Somebody definitely wants to make you theirs. They're seeing it that way. They would be thrilled to death if it worked out that way. There are things they haven't said. Let me read this card. I gotta put my glasses on. There is so much I want to say to you, but I find it difficult to put my feelings into words. Just know that you are very important to me. The depth of my love for you is beyond words. There is so much unspoken between us, which I will soon reveal to you. Yeah. I also want to read this. It says, you are mine. There is no one else in the world who could ever replace you. We were made together. We are destined. I am yours and you are mine only. We have done this before and we will do it again. Someone is definitely feeling like you're a soulmate, and they have this urge. But it's almost like I want to read this one too. Okay. It says new beginnings. I have realized what I was missing in my life, and that is you. This new love has given me a fresh perspective and changed who I am. There is no going back, only forward. When I met you, after that, I never looked back. I want to have a fresh new start with you. Yeah, somebody wants to take something to a deeper level. I mean, it's like they see that this really can be so much more than it is now. And they know that in order to get to those depths, they have to cross this threshold that requires them to be super uncomfortable, to be super vulnerable, to take a big risk. And they're struggling with it. I do see this person may communicate almost with you extra, and it may be sort of surface level or kind of light and breezy. And they may have even left some kind of emotional conversation sort of uncomfortably, but it feels like it's like I'm sort of trying to make up for it or be very reassuring by just sort of touching base, or I might even be seeking that reassurance for myself that nothing got messed up there. You know what I mean? Someone's finding their confidence. Yeah. See, I think someone felt like something was missing in their life, or they were lonely. Sorry. Before they met you. And You know, we can be lonely and be in a relationship. We can be lonely and be surrounded by friends. We can be lonely and have a very busy schedule. Loneliness is you know what they're showing me? It's like when a weed takes over a garden or a field. Like invasive, pervasive, something like that is the word I'm trying to say here. And so pervasive that it can be hard to sort of turn it off. It can be hard to sort of focus around it or beyond it. I think this person, you know, when you break, right? When someone breaks your heart, even when you heal, it doesn't quite go back together the exact same way. Wow, a female cardinal just flew into the bush right outside my office window. These cardinals came, I want to say last year. I don't see them very often. And there's a male too, but I don't see him. I just see the female. But I don't know, I consider it a huge sign. So just letting you know, especially if cardinals are a sign for you. That may be significant, but anyway, she's definitely looking for something. Okay, so anyway, when we get heartbroken, you know, we can heal. We can, you know, we can come to the place where we are grateful for the gift of what we learned and where we understand and appreciate and accept the level of discernment that we gained from the lesson learned. We can even let it go. We can come to a place of peace and acceptance, all those things, right? But the heart doesn't ever quite go back together the same way. We can actually never be who we were before our heart was broken. And the parts that are scarred, those parts that are super vulnerable sometimes cause us to sabotage things. You know, it sometimes causes us to, you know, say things we don't mean, to pull away, to cut people off, to kind of take action that is not in alignment with how we're really feeling. And especially with this knife here or this sword here, it's like probably in speech, you know, saying things. With this greed card, I don't know how to describe what I feel with this card. It's just that I feel like you're dealing with somebody who is sort of used to getting their own way, or even they may be someone who it's like usually people are sort of throwing themselves at them. Do you know what I mean? People are usually maybe making themselves very accommodating to them. And maybe you're not. Maybe instead you're showing them some kind of healthy relationship where you're offering them support, but you're not, you know, over giving or crossing boundaries or people pleasing or kind of making it really easy for this person to get by. And this may be very challenging to this person. However, I think that this is kind of pulling this person into their own divine energy. It's like they've never had the opportunity to actually meet someone halfway before, because people have always sort of overgiven to accommodate this person. And it's like you've learned that lesson and you know your worth and you know your value, and you know that the only way for a relationship to truly survive is for you to be equals and partners and keep the connection very balanced. And I think that, you know, this person, it's like, I've never had to take this risk like this before. And it's crazy because I feel like once they do it, once they cross that threshold of vulnerability, I think they're going to be blown away by themselves and by this relationship and by what's here. But of course they don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable and it's scary and it brings out this self-sabotaging kind of energy and triggers the broken parts that, you know, have scarred over but are still there. And I feel like this person is really searching and trying to find their confidence. They're trying to find their, it's almost like having considered yourself to be a very confident person and someone who's very capable and someone who doesn't get stumped and someone who doesn't really find themselves in a position like this. It's like, there's almost a lot of thinking around, why am I feeling like this? Why aren't I able to do this? I'm usually so confident. And that may be freaking them out because, like, if it's meant to be, then why do I feel this way? Like, all the wires are getting crossed within this person because it feels like panic is setting in. Or it has, or, you know, there's just, they may be a very logical, analytical person and it may just not make sense to them. And things that don't make sense to them, they sort of shy away from. And because they've never been called to this, like, level of like, I don't know, I want to say like giving or risk taking in a way with their heart. You know, they've loved and lost, or they've felt like they were in love and they've lost and it's hurt. And, you know, someone may have even been deceptive to them. Someone may have cheated on them. Someone may have, you know, done something hard to break their heart, you know, so they have been vulnerable. But I mean, I'm talking about something different here. I mean, it's kind of like, if we're talking about, you know, the talk, like, you know, are we going to be serious here or whatever? It's like, I feel like someone else always started it and all they had to do was say, yep, okay, great. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have to actually like find the words and take the risk and be the one to really put it out there, you know? And if they did, they knew that the person they were doing it with was absolutely going to be like, yes, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? They've never put it out there in such a way to someone like you in a situation like this. And it's tripping them out, you know? And it also feels to me that, like, it has a different meaning. Like, it's more serious. It's more of a commitment maybe than what they have actually really made in the past. Or, like, for them, it's like, I don't think we'll ever break up, or I think if we get together, it will never come apart. Which can also be sort of scary for people. I mean, that's what we're all looking for, right? That's what we all want. That's what we're all hoping for, because the other alternative is it ends in heartbreak again, right? But at the same time, when you're really facing like, okay, this is it, you know, that is also scary in and of itself, you know? So there's a lot happening here. I feel like this real strong internal conflict in this person, and it's like they're trying to get to a place where they feel really comfortable and confident with their decision, but there is this self-sabotaging energy where it's like they're thinking too much. Let's dive into the tarot, shall we? I was just reminded that when I was shuffling these cards, minor setback came back. Yeah, I mean, we can see what's happening here pretty easily. Sorry, I don't know why I put this deck like this. Oh, see, this person really wants you. This person is really attracted to you. There is something here where it's like, I've never felt like this before, or I've never wanted something this much before, or you are the object of their desire. Like that is unaffected by this. What's happening is happening within them. I am getting, for some of you, you may have a major placement in fire as some kind of confirmation, like your moon, your rising, your Venus, maybe even your Mercury. You have the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Coins, the Five of Coins, and the Eight of Coins. This energy with these two eights, you know, this is like an energy that once we break through it, we come into a space of abundance. It's like, I keep getting this energy of like crossing the threshold, like breaking down this barrier. And once that barrier is gone, then it's just smooth sailing. Then it's just like the sky is the limit. Then it's like we can experience everything that we've ever wanted to experience and then some. You know, that's when it gets good. This person has some kind of mental pattern in their thinking, and they keep coming back to it. They keep coming back to it. They keep coming back to it. I feel like this person is trying to break the pattern. You have this afraid of commitment, and then you have the Eight of Swords with the Ace of Coins. And the Ace of Coins is usually, you know, some kind of offer for something solid and stable. It's a commitment, right? And it's like around this, it's like this person saying, you know, I really need to do this, or I really want to do this even. And then it's like, it starts this whole kind of like series of thoughts that limit this person, trap this person, make this person really very stuck. The stuckness is expressing itself in multiple ways in these few cards that we have out. You know, you have the Two of Swords and the Two of Coins here. You've got the Eight of Swords here. These are all energies that are really self-limiting. And they are, you know, it's like someone who's like, I know I should make a decision and I need to make a decision. And then it's like they go into this like, let me think about it. Let me process it. Let me work through it. Let me get the logistics of it. Let me see how I think about it. Let me, you know, is it logical? Is it analytical? You know, does it make sense? Does it fit into the grander scheme of things? Do I think it's going to last? Do I think it's going to work? You know, it's like a lot of questions. And with the Five of Coins and the Ace of Coins, it's like someone who's like, I'm either going to lose this or I'm going to make an offer. Like I either have to commit or I'm going to be out in the cold. Like, you know, it's almost like a recognition that they know that you know your worth and your value, and that you're not going to stick around for someone who isn't sure or doesn't know, or, you know, has all these questions or can't make up their mind or can't get out of their own way here. And it's like they definitely don't want to lose you. You know, we see that with this Queen of Wands energy. They want you. But it's like they go into this like mode of just it feels like shutting down. It feels like overwhelm and then shutting down. We don't have the cards of, you know, being overwhelmed, but this Eight of Swords, it's just how many times are you going to go through the same thought cycle? How many times are you going to go through this and like talk yourself out of it and talk yourself down off the ledge before you're just like, I don't want to anymore. You know, I just don't want to think about it. Like, maybe let me avoid it. But then it starts up again because you got the Ace of Coins, Five of Coins, which is, if I don't make this offer, if I don't do something solid and stable, then I'm going to lose this altogether. And this is what I want. And there's no progress being made here. With the Eight of Coins, this person is definitely putting the work in. They're trying their hardest to change it. They're trying really hard to master themselves. They're trying really hard to look at it. For others of you, though, this can also be someone who is going to work to escape it. Like, you know, I can't think about this anymore. I've thought about it to death. I'll just avoid it. I just won't think about how I'm going to lose the person. I just won't think about how impossible this seems to me right now. That's really how I feel. You know, the Two of Swords and the Two of Coins with the Wheel of Fortune and Judgment. So we see someone who's really stuck in a very bad traffic pattern. The Two of Swords is a self-imposed like stagnancy. It's like, I'm faced with this decision. I feel like there's no good decision to make here, or I feel so out of alignment with myself, or I feel so either maybe even pressured to make a decision. And you may not be pressuring this person. It may be self-imposed pressure. That it's like, I just have to shut down. I just have to close my heart to it. I have to close my eyes to it. I have to insulate myself from what is really triggering me. And because with the Two of Coins, it's making this person feel so imbalanced. It's driving this person back and forth between feeling this intense emotion of love for you and for the situation, and this intense emotion of fear for you and for the situation. You know, something has to change with the Wheel of Fortune. It's going to go in a very specific direction. You know, it can't stay like this. This is not a sustainable energy. So with the Wheel of Fortune, there is something that's coming, like, this could be, you know, some kind of change that forces a decision, you know, that's external to the situation. Like this person got a new job, or this person is moving, or this person, you know, it could be some kind of deadline. It could also be where this person, you know, even if they do escape to their work, and especially if they do something that's somewhat meditative, like my husband and I were just painting. We just redid our bedroom, and we were painting it, and I do all the trim work and the like all that, and he does the roller. And I was up there with my paintbrush. We have really high ceilings, so I was like standing on scaffolding. And I'm up there with my paintbrush, and I'm just going along, and I am really in a meditative state. And I thought, my God, you know, it wouldn't be so bad to be like a house painter. Like, I actually enjoy it. And you know, you really are in quite a meditative state. It doesn't require a lot of thought. It is just sort of a mechanical action. And you are just sort of dipping the paintbrush in and putting the paint on the wall. And, you know, it is like there is a meditative quality to it. And I was really thinking about that. And this is giving me that vibe with the Eight of Pentacles here. It's like, especially if someone's been doing something for a long time, and it's like, you know, it doesn't require them to really be thinking on their feet all the time, or, you know, there's some kind of monotony involved in what they do. It's like, that's not going to be a very good escape for them. You see what I'm saying? Because when we come into that meditative state, a lot of answers come. I had so many answers when I was like painting. I mean, just like so many things were coming to me, and I was just like, wow, 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 wow. And so sometimes it's like we need to take our focus off the problem. We need to shift our focus onto something where we do have a level of confidence or competency or expertise that gives us the opposite feeling. Instead of being overwhelmed and unbalanced, we feel very secure and confident and, expert-like, you know what I mean? And then it's like, oh, wow, okay, now from this energy, from this space, from this perspective, it becomes very clear to me. With the Two of Coins here, this person may actually be experiencing that, where when they are off on the weekends or when they get off at night, they get back into the bad thinking pattern, or the thinking pattern that's limiting them and making it impossible for them to see some kind of way out or some kind of answer. And then they may go to work and they may feel better about it. They may feel like, wow, actually working through this is actually helping me become a better person. I mean, I can even see that they may even feel that way or think that way. And so there may be this sort of natural turn of events as we're sort of working through this energy with the Two of Coins and the Two of Swords, of just like, I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to focus on work. And then there's this back and forth between, I'm feeling so confident and comfortable in my situation, to I'm feeling really uncomfortable. That may actually bring about a change overall. But with the Wheel of Fortune and the Judgment here, these are your two major arcana. And what this is saying is there is a change, and that someone is able to hear the calling and rise above whatever these circumstances are that are very, very human, that are keeping them very, very stuck. So let's look at this deeper. Yeah, this energy is not sustainable. You got the Ten of Swords there. It has to end. It has to complete. It's this thinking this way is too draining, too exhausting. This person has to end this cycle. They have to make a different choice. And I think that's why they're seeking maybe to focus on work, or, maybe to not think about it at all, or maybe to like pull themselves out or give themselves some space or some distance here. But, when we give ourselves space and distance and we're able to look at it, from a different perspective, and we're able to consider, okay, well, here I am looking out onto the future of my life. What do I want it to look like? What do I want it to be filled with? If not this, then what? And if this, then why am I, then how do I go about, like, it's a planning and strategy card as well, of like, okay, how do I bring it into being? How do I manifest this? How do I make this happen for myself? You have the Seven of Pentacles here. So this can be an energy that's been going on for some time. But it's something where it's like all of the parts are there. All the seeds have been planted, right? And now it's just sort of letting those seeds ripen and come into something tangible that this person can say, okay, I've had enough time. I've had enough space. I've seen it. I was overwhelmed by it. So now we do see the overwhelm, right? That I was feeling. But I was overwhelmed by it. It was too draining. It was too much for me. I had to end that cycle. I couldn't continue to think about it. I couldn't continue to dwell on it. So I got some space. And when I got the space and I looked out on my life and what I really wanted, I don't want to be lonely anymore. And so I've had to kind of overcome. I had to make a different choice. I had to think about it in a different way. I had to get a different perspective. And that's what distance does. That's what space does. It gives us the opportunity to have a new perspective and to come back to a new place. Wow, you're not kidding. Yeah, someone's arriving at a decision point here. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, some of you are dealing with a fire sign. You now have the King of Wands. Remember, we had the Queen of Wands. So there is like a divine pair thing going on here. This is a soulmate connection. But you got, you know, when you have the King of Wands with the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Wands, this is someone who knows what they want and normally goes after it. But with the Seven of Swords and the Nine of Wands, they have experienced something, this brokenness. They're a wounded warrior. They have experienced something that has caused them to be a bit guarded and a bit defensive. And that guard and that defense is misaligned with what it is they really want. And so it comes up as this blockage every time they try to take action toward what they want. It's like smacks them in the face. You know what I'm getting is, I don't know if you guys rake leaves with a rake, but sometimes you'll put your rake down in the leaf pile and you'll forget, and then you step on the leaf pile and the rake comes up and the thing hits you in the face. The handle hits you in the face. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's almost like that is the energy I'm getting from this like King of Wands, Seven of Swords, Nine of Wands. It's like, boom, no, you can't proceed past this point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, with the Six of Swords, this person is coming to a place of peace with their thoughts. They're coming to this place where they're able to, they feel they're in charge. They're feeling confident again. They're feeling like, okay, this is what we're dealing with. These are the thoughts. I've lined them up neatly. I've looked at each and every one of them individually and as a whole. And now I'm feeling a whole lot better about the situation. Now I'm able to make a decision and I'm able to move past this point of turbulence. The Justice is where we're making a decision. Yeah, this person's learning an important spiritual lesson here. Yeah, they wow. It's like we learn a lot. Well, almost sometimes, I mean, I don't want to say we learn the most. I don't even know that most as a qualifier is even necessary in this statement, but we learn a lot from the things that make us uncomfortable and the things that, you know, cause drama and chaos and, you know, those blockages that are internal that show up external, as within, so without. So when we hit this blockage between our throat chakra and our heart chakra, because we have this woundedness that brings about this misalignment that prevents us, that puts a guard up, that prevents us from being able to move on, move through a difficult situation or something that causes us to feel fear, feel our brokenness, right? Connect with that energy. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for growth. When we can come to a place of peace with it, when we don't fight it and don't say, oh, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to face that. I'm going to shove that back down. Instead, when we sit with it with the Six of Swords until we come to a place of peace with it and we take it apart piece by piece and we look at it and we go, okay, all right, okay. It becomes, instead of being insurmountable, it becomes 5 sticks. And we're like, how the hell did that feel so insurmountable? Because we were willing to sit with it. We were willing to take it apart. We were willing to look at it. And then we could let it go. We could recognize it for what it was and we could let it go. And so it no longer had this effect on us. And you can see with the Page of Pentacles clarifying this energy, this person is learning a very valuable lesson from this experience of having to face this, of feeling this, of having this blockage, of having this delay. And what it's doing, it's like it's enabling them to break through this threshold to unconditional love, to the ability to love and be loved without boundary, or, you know, without their defense mechanism getting involved. Yeah, without feeling like they need to protect themselves. Yeah, look at that. See, it is, oh my, yeah. Remember how I told you, it's like there is something here where it's like we got to get through this threshold. We got to cross this threshold, and then it's like a snowball rolling out of control. Well, you got the 5 of Swords here, the 10 of Coins, and the 10 of Cups. and just especially given what we just saw with the Six of Swords being clarified, especially by the Five of Wands with the Queen of Cups here, it's like this is the blockage between them and unconditional love, and this ability to express and receive the expression of real true love. With the Five of Swords, this is a largely mental energy. It's a self-defeating behavior. It's sort of them with them, you know, maybe even ending things prematurely. I see he's got his hand on the coffin. He's not bawling his eyes out like as if he's really super upset. He's, you know, he sort of confidently has his hand on the headstone. Is that what that is? Wow. I mean, the symbology of this is kind of more than I can handle right now. Yeah, look at that. So you've got this Five of Swords energy where it's kind of like, over here, I found it. I figured out what the problem is. You know, I put things to an early grave, or I put a premature ending on things out of my need to protect myself. I found it. I figured it out. And you know, once we find it, once we figure it out, we have this capacity to fix it. We have this capacity to let it go. And we have now this King of Wands without all the Seven of Swords and the Five of Wands. We have this King of Wands who is free and clear to want what he wants and to go after it. He doesn't have this misalignment and this rake that's going to hit him in the face when he steps on it. You know, he has no landmines here. He is clear to go after what he desires. If you guys watch my videos at all, you know that when the Ten of Coins and the Ten of Cups come up, I mean, this is my rest assured, you have a big time relationship coming in. So, you know, this entire reading could actually be you with you working through all your issues, you know, getting ready, preparing for someone to come in, someone who knows what they want and who's going to come in and go get it, you know, and going to show up for you. For others of you, this is an energy of someone that you're dealing with that's having a bit of a herky-jerky moment here where it may not necessarily make sense. It's a minor setback. You will communicate your way through this, I do feel. And it does feel like you'll be better off because of it. With this Judgment card, this is like raising up out of our humanness and our fears and the things that trap us in this human experience into a more ethereal, unlimited way of being, right? And with the Ace of Swords, this is coming through great communication and, you know, really expressing this energy of, you know, my thoughts got the best of me. I became overwhelmed. I may have even walked away. And it was all because this issue of commitment came up. It became real. I couldn't handle it. The rake came up and hit me in the face. Doesn't that just look like that? Yeah. So they become transparent. They tell you, this is what I was thinking. This is what I went through. You know, there's honesty in this communication, and it enables this connection to rise above its current limitations. That's what I see. All right, Pisces, let me get you some messages here. If you're dealing with a water sign, you're getting, this person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. Unhealed wounds are blocking forward movement. Hello. Forgiveness, forgiving yourself or another will help you move forward. If you're dealing with a fire sign, past life love, your soul remembers this intense connection. Protected, you are safe and divinely guided. An apology, you can expect the apology you want to hear. If you are dealing with an earth sign, you are getting warning. Don't dismiss the red flags here. Leap of faith. It's safe to make the move you're considering. And twin flame, this is a divine counterpart connection. If you're dealing with an air sign, you are getting boundaries. Firm boundaries are needed now. Marriage, this relationship is moving toward a sacred union. And self-care, clear your energy field and focus on yourself before acting. All right, you guys, this is what I have for you. I hope it helps. I hope it brings you some peace and clarity. And yeah, I feel like stay the course, hang on to yourself here in this moment, you know, stay true to yourself and your needs and getting your needs met. You know, I feel like, you know, somebody here is definitely learning a very valuable and important lesson that you want them to learn in order for them to really be able to show up for you and for this connection properly. But it's something they have to work through them with them. You know, this is all really internal energy. There's not a lot you can do. You can't, you know, make this person feel better about the situation. They've got to figure it out for themselves, you know? And I think ultimately there is a big reward in letting them do that. Because I feel like this relationship, it's like the sky is the limit after that. All right, this is what I have for you guys. I hope it helps. Until next time, I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.